Listen what me tell you, we need more love in the ghetto. Sing some positive tune and send them ghetto youth. Living in a conman town. We don't need no con. Talk to them, boy. Pam, brother. Jesus will provide. Jesus will provide. Hey, this is Jaranus, your brother, your cousin, your friend, your nephew, whoever you feel to call me, your son, whoever you feel to call me. Right, the original Jesus Youth, and it's all about this Wednesday, 8 p.m. Right, the 30th of September. We're going on live on Facebook. You're looking for Neil Iwer George Facebook, Iwer TV on YouTube, Iwer George Instagram, and it's all about lifting up the name of Jesus. Look in, log on, tune in, click, subscribe. Oh gosh, just do what you have to do.
Streaming live on Instagram at Iwer George, Facebook Neil Iwer George, and YouTube Iwer TV. It's Iwer Stage.
Everybody just trust me, I'm gonna make it one day. Come and live this life and it practical. To survive the street man of it tactical. Say the right.
Yo, you don't know it's Lady Lava, Queen of the Freaks, and I will be live on Iwer Stage 1-on-1 from 8 p.m. So people, that's the 4th of October, right? And it's streaming live on Iwer George YouTube, Iwer George Instagram, Iwer George Facebook. It will also be streaming live from my page, right? So be sure to catch me, and I don't know. If you beat it, keep it a secret. Lady Lava, Queen of the Freaks.
Boom! Streaming live on Instagram at Iwer George.
Office are going to file me an injunction on the public service. But every time a heavy rainfall by me.
Bacchanal in the parang, bacchanal. Now a man with a pan with some sand in his hand was driving a panel van. When Tina stand park up the van, then walking a parang van. So a man from the stand see the man from the van with the pan and sand in his hand. Take away the sand from the man with the pan and throw it on a parang man on the shovel. This is Trinidad Rio. Catch me live on 1-on-1 Iwer Stage, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram on Friday the 2nd of October from 7 p.m. Trinidad Rio.
Streaming live.
Africans, we have to unite.
Talk your talk, but we know talk.
Come talk with us.
The street.
919 FM.
Ancestors, we call on you to fight the fight on our behalf. Ancestors, we call on you to walk on our enemies. Asheo. All the way from Africa land, they come in. All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them. All the way from Africa land, they come in. All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them. Walk on them, 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 walk on them. Yoruba ancestors, 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 walk on them. Walk on them, walk on them, walk on them, walk on them, walk on them. Walk on them, walk on from Africa land, they coming to walk on them. Great mother, we call on you. Young land, we call on you. Your children crying, creeping, moving. Great mother, we call on you. When we bought this libation, we threw it for the nation. From the four corners of Trinidad, great mothers, we call on you. Walk on them, 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 walk on them.
I greet you in the name of the Kaiso and the Kaiso Arena. I greet you in the name of the Rapso and the oral tradition. But more than that, I greet you in the name of the Almighty Mother and Father of creation. Praying for a new awakening, I hear the voice of an ancestral calling. Distant song coming from afar. Say my name, call me daughter. The rhythm of the drum was the healer. The pathway was ancient Africa. I was compelled to answer. Incarnation of a higher power. Bring down the power. Bring it on, yeah. 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 Bring the power of love. Oh, yeah. Bring the power of peace. Oh, yeah. Bring the power of balance. Oh, yeah. Bring the power of justice. Oh, yeah. Bring down the power. Bring it on, yeah. Bring down the power. Bring it on, yeah. Bring down the power. Bring it on, yeah. Bring down the power. The power of the word. The power of the word. Power of the word. Word sound is power. Ocean came and shine in her glory. Feminine and sweet is her stories. Shango, lightning and thunder. Strike the earth to stand stronger. I see Orisha dancing, dancing to a bright new morning. They come to strengthen our nation. A liberation of this tradition. Bring down the power. Bring it on, yeah. 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 Bring the power of love. Oh, yeah. Bring the power of peace. Oh, yeah. Bring the power of unity. Oh, yeah. Bring the power of harmony. Oh, yeah. Bring down the power. Bring it on, yeah. Bring down the power. Bring it on, yeah. Bring down the power. Bring it on, yeah. Bring down the power. All on the power. Call on the power. Call on the power. Call on the power. We pray for unification. Destroy the forces of segregation. Don't judge a man, see his heart. Don't let evil tear us apart. Our God is not the author of confusion. God is not the author of illusion. God is not the author of destruction. God is not the author of religion. Bring down the power. Bring it on, yeah. 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 Bring the power of love. Oh, yeah. Bring the power of peace. Oh, yeah. Bring the power of Hotep. Oh, yeah. Bring the power of Mahat. Oh, yeah. Bring down the power. Bring it on, yeah. Bring down the power. Bring it on, yeah. Bring down the power. Bring it on, yeah. Bring down the power. Timbo. Universe is here to play her.
Aboro, Aboye, Aboshishi. We are here again, the Orisha. We have life right here on the street 919 FM. As you know, those people in Radio Land know me as MC Duke. I'm Alatomishi Ifabamishi Aganki. My co-host, King Shaka and Olumbe from the Sheshe community. Just like to play homage to all the elders on the live. Those of you streaming on the Street 919 FM page, the Facebook page. Baba Watunde, Jigbotifa, Elubion, Baba Mitchell, Are, Orisha Lashe, Ugunleti, Yeye, Ubadi Yola, Ifayumi, Ishu Baye, Yalode of Miami Egbe Imo in Kunupia. Those of you streaming on YouTube, on Iwer TV, I say welcome. Welcome. And you know, I start saying a disclaimer, the views of the panel is not the views of the Street 919 FM. And we are here to spread the good word, the truth about Orisha, Ifa, way of life. And we intend to grow for this message to reach. We have a platform. There are other platforms. I'd just like to say there are other platforms. I don't want nobody to feel that, yes, we will support. We are supporting other platform. That's what we need to do. Like to support Ifa Sean Singh and the Soca platform. There are many platforms. And one of the main reasons that Mayori guided me here, because I'm an announcer on this station, I'm also a member of the Ifa Orisha community. And it came, Mayori guided me to do this. We are here, we have a platform. I'll just like to mention the elder who used to do this program.
That is
before
the late Baba Aaron Falami.
Yes, we must pay homage to who's on the ancestral realm. Falami, Aaron Falami, Baba Falami, who started this. As Baba Mitchell said last week, we must pay homage to those who paved the way, who strived, who toil, who fight to make this a success that we hear the upcoming hours. Omar was maybe able to take it a next stage further, because we are all one people and we need the segregation. I'm saying it, and I'm saying it without a doubt, without a hesitation. We need to forget titles and we need to come together and operate as one. I am the medium here, controlling the board, helping get the word outside. And to keep this program here, we need funds, we need sponsorship. So we calling out to the listening public, to the viewership, as little as it is, drip by drip, that's full of bucket. And we need it. We came through 1 month and we are about to approach another month, and we have to pay to keep the program. I don't want any money in my pocket. I works for the government. They pays me a salary at the end of the month. I don't want nobody's money. So you can get on to me 3494121, or you can donate your donation straight to Chini Bashment. You know, Chini Bashment, and we could take it from there. So King Shaka, my co-host, who has been here with me from inception, since after Ifa Porere left, you are still here with me. We'll be sharing the wealth. We will call on other people to sit in, to make this not for it to be just a one-man show, or we just focusing on one-star people. And I'm stressing on the members of my community, those of you who sing, those of you who play drums, reach out to me. Send the music to me. Time for us to get out there. This is our time. Send the music. Send whatever you are creating. It could be dance, it could be a dance video, it could be whatever. Send it, because this show, we intend to take this show up. We have already been given the blessings from Olodumare. Yeshua has been clearing opening the doorway. Baba Ogun has been clearing the pathway for us. The elders of the community has been giving us that ashe and that blessings. I like to say special good night to Omotayo. I'm not taking the thunder from you and King Shaka, but Mama, I like to say special good night to you also. I know you're listening. Thanks for the support. You know, Baba Mitchell, it's a long time. Thank you to you too also. And to my Are, Ifa Lashe, Orisha Lashe, I say good night to you also, and the members of my group. Shaka, floor is yours.
pleasant night to all the listeners, the viewers of the Street 19.
919.
The Street 919.
Yeah.
Just want to say, Ekabo, welcome. And may Orisha and positive ancestors continue to guide us, bless us, protect us, and take us to that place of positive energy.
Ashe.
Iwapele.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe. I'd just like to some of the sponsors who has been supporting us so far. You know, Kamara's Culture Shop, the #1 important supplier of all genuine products from Africa. Africa House in Belmont also.
Ashe.
Kamara's Culture Shop is open from 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. Adams Bazaar, Main Road, Chaguanas. 2 buildings before the Chaguanas Market. Numbers to call are 672-8438 or 320-8866. Nice Nuts, Quinlan Brands, bottle and distribute natural coconut water. Phone number 716-6396. Gossip Gel Polish 382-7587. Peddy by Risi 398-4474. Temple Ojubo Orisha Orumlo. And Banjela Music Productions and Media. Nubian Experience also. So once you're from the community, your business can be this small, this big. You reach out to us and we will put you out there. It's time we support our own. Ulumbe?
Truly, man.
You know, make your welcome speech, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah, say a pleasant good night. Abura boy, Aboshishe. My Ifa Orisha community. You know, I salute my ancestors. I salute my Ori. Salute all my elders who may be listening. I salute every single member of the Ifa Orisha community at this present time. And you know, I just want to thank the Street 919, you know, for the opportunity to come and represent the Sheshe Festival the Sheshe Festival Committee on this radio program. You know, I am also associated with Egbe Omoni Sheshe Traditional African Association. You know, I'm also representing them as well. You know, so that's it. You know, let's get the ball rolling with the Sheshe.
Yes. The energy is nice. The energy is real. This is what we are about. So, Olumbe, I know you belong to the Isheshe community. I just had to say special good night to the listeners, the loyal listeners, always on the Facebook page. Fiola Rada, Rose Petal Nicholas, Olaka Masatunji, Ifasheun, Jennifer Ashby Okole, you know, and the list goes on. Angie St. Paul.
Good night, everybody.
Just like to say good night. Pleasant good night. So let's share the live. Let our voices be heard.
Yeah, man.
Not just let Movado and all these people. Let our voices be heard. Not Tommy Hilfiger, but let everything that he picks and shows us, let it get out there. Right? So Isheshe. What is Isheshe?
Isheshe. You know, Isheshe is a word that means, you know, it really encapsulates our source. You know, our source meaning what Ifa Orisha is based on. Isheshe is like the foundation. If you want to describe the foundation, Isheshe is the word for it. You know, Isheshe describes the primordial energies. Those who, the energies that predate human existence.
That's the first.
You know, the first. Isheshe, again, is the platform of Olodumare. The dynamics of Olodumare in which Olodumare operates within. You know, Isheshe, in the Odu, Ogunda, Owori, it speaks of Isheshe being one's mother. Isheshe being one's father. Isheshe being one's Ori, one's ancestors, the Orisha, the Imale, our Ikenifa is our Isheshe, the way our culture, our music, the way we communicate with self, the way we communicate with Olodumare and the ancestors is also Isheshe. You know, Isheshe, it is that way of connecting with self. You know, finding that and understanding your foundation within and your role and function within the community.
Sure.
And with that, you know, you are able to understand your destiny.
Benny.
You know, so Isheshe encapsulates everything to deal with our culture. Now, although it's a Yoruba word, a West African word, we have managed to maintain and preserve Isheshe down here, that we could say we have our own Isheshe. You know, our own way of worship, our own way of our culture and our way of life survived, you know. That is Isheshe. Isheshe is that and so much more. The elements, the you know, everything you could think about.
Well, when was it formed? When was the Isheshe community, when they gathered, where they first, the year, the time, you know?
Well, so the Isheshe community is our Ifa Orisha community.
Sure.
So that is from
From
day
way
one.
back.
Yeah, that is from
Yeah.
foundation. That is before we even left, our ancestors left Africa. But the Isheshe festival community, which I would represent tonight, would have been formed in, say, around 2014, where, you know, Baba Avery Amon would have, you know, he had this vision that, you know, we as African people need to set aside a day and a time to celebrate our ancestors and to celebrate the good things,
Benny.
the grand things that has been, you know, achieved within our community. You know, so it was year 2014, if I'm correct, 2014, 2015, because this year should be about the 6th year we actually celebrate the Isheshe Festival in Trinidad and Tobago.
Our next guest is here. I'd just like you to introduce yourself, you know.
Hi, good evening.
Alafia.
My name is Yeye Omitosi Cyrus Alrani. I'm from the Kani Cyrus Al Kibran in Juba. Everyone would know me as the daughter of the Yellow de Awakpai, Chief Ifa Korede, Oyayemi Aworani, John Cyrus. Kani Cyrus Al Kibran in Juba is one of the oldest shrines in Trinidad and Tobago. And my mother transitioned to the ancestral realm last year, so I'm now the spiritual head of the Kani Cyrus Al Kibran in Juba. So thank you very much for having me. I'm quite sorry for being late.
As Mother Brown does say, being late, there's a meaning to everything. Right? There's a meaning for everything. You are here, Olodumare has granted the strength. You are here with us. So let us spread the word. Let get out there. Let must get out there. I want to ask where it started. Like, if was there a location, was there area in Trinidad and Tobago that it started, you know?
Right, so the first Isheshe festival would have been kept, I believe, was Center of Excellence.
Yes.
Now, I wasn't part of the festival committee that year, the first year, right? And that year, it was Baba Avery's inspiration and the elders at that point in time who were part of the festival committee to honor elders within the community. They would have awarded, if I remember correctly, 8 posthumous awards and 8 elders who were living at the point in time. A few, one or two of them would have passed on thereafter. So it started in Center of Excellence. From what I remember, well, again, I wasn't there in the first year, but what I remember, you know, it was really a grand celebration because after Baba Ford would have passed away, and Shaka, you could correct me if I'm wrong, there was a type of, there was a challenge to, you know, long time had the Orisha Family Day.
Yes.
On the land in Lopino. That was an annual something. After Baba Ford passed away, you know, the community got some challenges in terms of, you know, really keeping it up and driving it forward for its continuation. So Baba Avery was inspired, you know, hey, it's time to get back the community together. You know, it's not only in our parley, in our prayers, in our feasts, in our ebo, in our festival we could get together. You know, we could utilize the culture, utilize the expertise that we all have, and come together and celebrate Isheshe, celebrate our ancestors, connect with our ancestors, and in that doing so, we connect with self and each other.
All right, Isheshe, the spelling, the abbreviation, break it down for me.
Well, it's one word, ISESE.
Yeah. If it's international, whatsoever, you know. If it what is the main take out of the word Isheshe?
Well, as I described before, it's a Yoruba word, right? Isheshe is really, you know, going back again, our source. That is this is our platform. This is, you know, it really takes into account, you know, probably I should read the verse from Ogunda Ogorin. That Odu, where you know, Olodumare through Ifa describes what really is our Isheshe. Right, so I read it in English. The ocean is filled to the brim. The lagoon is filled to capacity. Alaye is going to Aye. Alasa is going to Asa. The hour of the top of the rock, the elders thought the matter over and realized that it was no longer favorable. They utilized their mustaches to cover their faces and spread their beards firmly over their chests. These were the declarations of Ifa to Isheshe, the primordial source. What is one's Isheshe? One's father is one's Isheshe. One's mother is one's Isheshe. One's Ori is one's Isheshe. One's Ikenifa is one's Isheshe. It is Isheshe we ought to appease before appeasing any Orisha. Let us appease Isheshe. Isheshe is the father of all sacrifices. Isheshe, the Isheshe of your mother's lineage, the Isheshe of your father's lineage. May they all give approval to the rites before we appease any Orisha.
It is the truth.
Say that over again for the listening public to hear and understand.
Understand, yeah. The Odu is Ogunda Orin. The oceans are filled to the brim. The lagoon is filled to capacity. Alaye is going to Aye. Alasa is going to Asa. The hour of the top of the rock, the elders thought the matter over and realized that it was no longer favorable. They used their mustaches to cover their faces and spread their beards firmly over their chests. These were the declarations of Ifa to Isheshe, the source, the primordial energy. What is one's Isheshe? One's father is one's Isheshe. One's mother is one's Isheshe. One's Ori is one's Isheshe. One's Ikenifa, the way we communicate with Olodumare, is one's Isheshe. It is Isheshe we ought to appease before appeasing any Orisha. Let us appease Isheshe. Isheshe is the father of all sacrifices. The Isheshe of your mother's lineage, the Isheshe of your father's lineage. May they all give approval to this rites before we appease any Orisha. In other parts of the Odu speaks of, you know, a woman's womb is one's Isheshe, the vagina is also part of Isheshe, the penis is part of Isheshe, meaning anything and everything to ensure that this tradition continues is one's Isheshe.
Well said, well said. When are the festivals, the festivals for Isheshe kept?
So typically every year it's kept around Republic Day. So why Baba Avery would have chosen Republic Day, you know, he was saying, I remember one of my first conversations with him, he used to say, you know, Republic Day, the Farusha community don't really do anything. And you know, same way how, you know, Independence and Republic Day, the national community would give the national awards also. You know, we within the Farusha community should seek a means to honor, you know, those deserving of awards within the Ifarusha community. So it's usually kept. It's a two-day function, a gala night with an award ceremony, And the following day is like a family, they are open the market
That's
selling.
nice.
Real
That's nice.
Yes, be nice.
Nice
That's
vibes.
COVID just playing a block in everything, but everything happens for a reason.
Build
Eh?
back stronger next
Yeah,
year.
you know,
Yeah.
we'll all get stronger as a people and as a community.
Yeah. You know, probably I could probably give you a little insight on the first 5 years of Isheshe.
No
For
problem.
example, who we awarded and
Yeah.
right? So the first year, as I said, we would have honored elders within the Ifarisha community. Baba 4 deceased. Cyrus deceased also got an award. Dalaris from Point 14. Elders throughout the country are represent. Every year we have representatives from Tobago as well being awarded. The second year, we would have awarded youths within the community. So first year elders, the next year we went to youths. Youths who would have excelled in education, music, pan. So for example, we had like Akinola Senon from South, from Separia Del Tones, receiving an award for pan. Sheena Richardson Ajibola receiving an award for music. Adam Pascal Adeola receiving an award for dance and creative art. Skiomi Seret for her art. You know, we awarded youths that year. I was also awarded that year.
That platform is very, very good in paying appreciation and showing the youths and even the elders and those coming up within the community that after you do the hard work, you will be appreciated in some way.
Yeah.
And that will inspire others who are looking on the outside. Wait now, I can be a role model for this. I, try and, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. And the more we do this, is the more we will get the community to grow together and reach.
True.
Besides Orisha Ifa, I was invited to a procession, small thing, by the Rada community
right,
in Belmont.
Yeah.
What part does the Rada community play within the Sheshe community?
Right, so the Rada, as you know, would have been a different, if you want to say tribe, settling here within Trinidad and Tobago. So we had the Yoruba, we had the Mandingo, we had the Rada, we had the Hausa tribes, the Igbo, different tribes settling here in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, Elder Antoine has been part of the Sheshe Festival from year one. Every year he gives us his support.
Very humble, quiet.
Yes.
The way how we walk, the way he just talk. I met this Elder Republic morning about 3 o'clock, and this Elder was cool, calm, willing, and I sit down with elders and I feel, feel so comfortable, The place cool and, and they're just passing on and they're just talking, and I was like, shh, just stay quiet and just listen. And they had a lot of stories.
Yeah.
And from listening to his story, and he ended up letting us know how we found his lineage and where he went back to Benin and all these things. And I get to realize they are part of the Sheshe because Avery was there.
Yeah.
So I said this, why not extend an invitation to him? And he was very much, okay, when you're ready, just call me. So
he was part of the Sheshe Festival from day one. Every year he gives his full support, 100. And even though the Rada community is the format of worship is I won't even say different. The elders have a saying, different strokes for different folks. That Rada community is part of even our Isheshe too. Yeah, it is. It really is. I mean, they might have their own form of Isheshe, but again, if we say we're going back to the source, if we're going back to motherland, if we're going back to Africa, if we consider in all our different brothers and sisters who came from different countries there, we have to consider them within our Isheshe as well. At the end of the day, as I was telling Shaka, we here in Trinidad as well, we have a quite a unique form of Isheshe.
Yes, it's true.
So Ajibo say Abajidwa, always on the show she says voodoo. Then Nora Brown says good night to everyone.
Good night.
Daniel John Aboye, the greatest wisdom in our good was using the 24th of September as the date for Isheshe. For Republic Day is an element of our Chinbego Isheshe.
True.
No, Jennifer Ashby says, welcome, Queen.
Thank you.
So I'd just like to, put you on the spot. Ajibo Sefer says, it have different tribes that settle here. How Lukimi, Santeria fit into Isheshe tradition? I believe that is a question. She's saying, directing to you guys. It have different tribes that settle here. How Lukimi, Santeria fit into the Isheshe tradition?
Go ahead. All right, so again, let me go back to what Isheshe is. Isheshe is the source, the foundation, that format in which Olodumare utilize. So when we think about, Lukimi, Santeria, that is also part of Isheshe, because it is our same Ifa Orisha tradition that would have been transferred or transported to our ancestors from point A, Africa, West Africa, Nigeria, and environs to different parts of the Western Hemisphere. So, for example, you'll have Santeria and Lukimi being developed in Venezuela, Cuba, different, so it's the same Olodumare, same Orisha, the same Imale, again different format. So it is actually part of Isheshe.
Would the Baptist community be a part of the Isheshe community?
I would say yes. If we really look at Isheshe and what it means, the spiritual Baptists would have developed as a result of syncretism of our ancestors finding a way or means for our spirituality to survive. So if that is what our ancestors did, and we say in ancestors is Isheshe, the foundation for spiritual Baptist is Ifa Orisha.
Is it true?
I say that with no apology. They hid behind.
I want to hear your voice. Let me take a little break here. I want to hear your voice, because woman, trust me, they make the universe, they make things happen.
Yes.
From my teachings, women are in charge.
Yes.
Yes, it's true, without a doubt.
Yes.
Yes. For me, the Lukumi and the Santeria. Lukumi is mostly candomblé, which is in Brazil. And the Santeria is mostly found in Cuba. The difference is just because of the fact of history, they being ripped out of the motherland, they continue the same traditions, everything. It is just under a different name.
Okay.
So Lukumi would be in Brazil, as they speak mostly Portuguese, and Santeria Spanish in Latin America. Right? Some of our songs that we even sing as well too in our tradition as well in Trinidad, that is, it's a mix of candomblé and the Lukumi, the Spanish. Sure. So some of these songs that we may hear in terms of some of the words to describe the Orishas, for the Orikis, for the Orishas, you'll actually hear some words. You'll understand if it is, we do some languages or some exposure to some languages, you'll understand that some of the languages are a bit mixed as well.
Is there a home or a location, a building that belongs to the Isheshe community? That's the first question. Also, back to the first, as Iya Samarin says, she was a part of the first Isheshe celebration. Who funded the celebration? Was it government assisted or the Isheshe community because everybody does be able from different communities as be able to get assistance from the government, but it does be always hard for us to get that assistance.
I would say it's the Sheshe community, our Ifa Orisha community. I wasn't there the first year as I keep repeating, but honestly from the second year forward is our shrines, our elders, our various different organizations, businessmen
that came
would
together.
have supported and ensured that this festival came off.
My mother was one.
Yeah. Your mom was one?
My mother was one. My mother was one
from day one.
Day one.
Day one.
Baba Avery and my mother communicated, and my mother would have contributed, and they were in constant communication to ensure that how everything goes, and my mother was there in full support.
That is what we need.
So
we need to support our own. We need to go to make that extra effort to go there, because trust me, when we decide to do something, it's like a ton of bricks that's come down. You understand? And it does be a fight within our own self to try and come out and make things happen. Right? How can we, going back to the question with the spiritual Baptist, because Isheshe is, as you say, ancestral, it makes up everything. How can we bridge the gap and get more of the spiritual Baptists involved into the community? And because I started at Spiritual Baptist, and there's a sort of, I ain't go get into that. So that is, but how can we bridge this gap and move together as a community and together as a people, instead of I hear, you hear? When you come by me, because when you go festivals and feasts, you will see the same Spiritual Baptists having a time in the Ilays and the Palais. But when you go to the Spiritual Baptist Church and you start to their Shuba, Majuba, hey, stop that, hold on. Stop that, hold on. And I'm fed up of this. It's centuries. It's going on a long time. Before I came into existence, this is one of the main reasons they show you. We need to start somewhere. We need to stop and start somewhere. And as young years, a war's coming up. And if I'm pronouncing the title, I don't know the title.
Yes,
right?
fine.
Right? I apologize.
That's okay.
Right?
That's fine.
We need to move forward.
Sure.
We need to stop the segregation, and we need to just focus and make ourselves more powerful, because trust me, if we move at our full potential, we might make Port of Spain end up in Sando. Sando end up in Port of Spain. You understand? The power that we have, we are not using it to our full potential, and we are destroying our own selves. Shaka, you go ahead now. I know there's a little book there, you know. I know it's
the book of goodness.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I want to ask Olumbe or Yomi to sing. Where do you all see the Isheshe festival heading?
Baba, you go first.
They want to hear your voice.
Yeah, where you all see the festival heading?
Okay, I know because the Isheshe festival is heading on the right track. I know that because once the positive display continues, and the unification and the elders and everyone coming together, I know that we'll be a force to reckon with.
I see.
As you said, you would want to know how Port of Spain end up in San Fernando and vice versa. We have that power. we have that ashe. We have the tools given by the Orishas.
Ashe.
So we are the ones who have to ensure that we continue to use those tools, and we have to use it in a positive and the right way. That way, we will continue to build the Ishasha, and Ishasha will continue to build us to continue to work with the universe. Because Olodumare is universe. We are the universe. And we are in the universe. So we will continue to do our part. So I have no doubt that Ishasha, they will continue to grow. And persons from the diaspora and in the motherland as well will come to join us and to partake and to understand how deep our roots, how our roots are connected. And they will understand, okay, even though we had our history and everything, we still maintained what is the right way of worshiping Olodumare and the Orishas. So there's no doubt Ishasha is going to continue to grow. I mean, probably this is the year we take for the break and for people to really hear what Ishasha is, to bring them in, to interest them. So by 2021, September 24th, as they say, the whole place shall down is action.
Because, you know, out of every negative, there's a positive. And out of every positive, there's a negative. The balance. I say this to say, yes, COVID come, no feasts, no festivals. You know how they, I'm not coming by you and I get to enjoy myself from my body by Oshun, Meiji in Matarita and Gate. But one thing I'm sure about with shows like Soca, with platforms like this, where who then know about Orisha and Ifa, Ifa being the truth, people would be able to appreciate and sit down now. Like you go in a festival and singing and clapping and enjoying yourself, and some people, sometimes we go there and enjoy yourself and we catch the full essence or the meaning of what took place, or we even learn. All we know about, we sing, we clap, we eat, and we go home. A manifestation come, we watch, but manifestation, but and it's done. Right? But with with programs, I ain't even saying this one, with other programs on Facebook, with other brothers, brother people doing things. And with this, trust me, I believe, as you said, by next year, because we are to live with it, COVID is not going anywhere.
In a hurry.
And COVID shall not interfere with nobody. I used to say from you, shall say from the Sheshe community. Right? And I know with these platforms, we will be a force to reckon with and be able to practice and do, as they say, the tools we have to do the right thing. Right? So, Shaka, you upon him?
You know, I heard you say that, you know, and you quoted the Udu out of from Ovunda Onwari about Ishashe being the first. And you gave an explanation about the strong connection it has with our ancestors. Because without their existence, all human beings would not have been here. But the commentary coming out of that Udu essay is about maintaining that your ancestral traditions in the right way in accordance to Olodumare. Where you think we as a people are heading in terms of maintaining that harmonious connection to our source?
Well, good question, but
because I have a follow-up.
Yeah, I have a follow-up to it, no problem. I think we are in a good position, but you know, in all good things we look for better.
Sure.
And you know, there are things we need to fix within the community. We have to face that fact, and we have to come out and start to fix them.
Benny.
I mean, as my brother say, it are things he even want to talk about or want to go into. If about time we have to get in.
No.
You know?
And we are saying not cutting across because this is young blood of Stop saying Orisha community. The Sheshe community right here. This is the upcoming, the future with those coming behind us. And even on the program here, we ask some questions concerning certain things and it come out and people say we washing dirty. And it's not washing dirty. It's letting people know what's happening, what's going on. And let me put it, because not to discredit the elders again, the elders are those who prop us and those who we learn from and those who make us better in the community. But to me, the elders, the weary, they might be able to take that fight, and the fight is for us, with them in the background giving us that ashe and that push and that protection.
Yeah.
You understand? And the dirty linen had to come out for the good to flow.
Have to come out, yeah.
It have to come out. I just want to touch on some of the people here. Yeah. Summarin says the question that must be asked is if the Sheshe committee ever applied for funding from the relevant ministries.
Yes. Yes, we did.
We had some.
Question was answered. Denora Brown says every other religious body get funding and we seem to be forgotten from this entire distribution ceremony. Jennifer says it's the centuries of fighting struggles that makes us a powerful people. I believe COVID-19 is here to turn up, make us come together and educate ourselves to be the original people we created to. Feel or rather strong view of the show. My opinion.
Career.
The spiritual Baptist is Ifa Orisha. However, because of slavery and the harm that they face to practice Ifa Orisha, they disguise the practice and call the name Jesus to survive. Most of the practitioners get comfortable and held on to the practice, keep calling on Jesus. However, moving forward and the reconnection with Ifa Orisha, we no longer have to hide to practice our African spirituality. As the Baba said last week, the Baptist community have to learn to leave the old car. We are now free to practice our African spirituality. Ashe. Fiola says COVID-19 pandemic is a reset button. Ajabuse Ajagbotufa says, I'm seeing people finding themselves and converting from Baptist and all other hideout tradition and waking up to join in their true Ifa tradition Ifa. Fiola says, if any Baptist can tell me that Jesus get a manifestation anytime, only then. The Pope never get a manifestation. Only African people, when in their spiritualities, get manifestation and get messages. You know, the elders have worked long and hard now for the younger ones to take up the mantle, but who are your teachers?
That's important. Remember everything before you go anywhere. They will say, who's your Olowo, or who is your Ianifa, or who is your Ojub? Because whatever one say, they represent their teachers. They represent their ancestors. They represent all those who teach them, you know. So the maintenance of the tradition, it is so much strong that we need, you know, the correct teaching reaching the people. Because for things to be maintained, it must be taught in the correct way.
True. We also need leadership.
Benny.
Proper leadership.
Comments here, like flour through a sifter, have to remove the lumps. Changes a must.
Sure.
They elders supposed to pass on the energy so it can continue to flow. Just like to say a special good night to Everall Redman Watson, who is also streaming. He will be here next week. He will be one of the guests here next week. Olumbe, don't be shocked if you see him back here as a drummer next week too.
No problem, but he was Baba Everall, Uncle Redman. He was actually on two of our Ishashe Fest. He was awarded for 2 years straight.
Yeah, a very good Baba, because he started me on this journey years ago, and I was about 16, 17 when he carried me by Baba Mitchell, you know, and there I saw and I started, you know, but then you're young, you feel your hip and you're up, you jump off, you know, things do happen, you know, so we going forward.
I just want to ask Umi, as you had said there about we as a people being colonized mentally, socially, spiritually, do you see much being done presently within the local Heshe to break these misconceptions as it pertains to our true practice?
That's good. There's work taking place. However, because it's not taking place publicly, it may seem as though no work is taking place at all.
Okay.
There are persons who are making the effort to really try to bring us together and to bring us into one. But the question is if everybody's willing to take part in that. As you may know, His Eminence Yarabak Bayi Oloyi Shashe visited our Twin Islands in Trinidad and Tobago December last year. And he made it, he made an effort to be able to bring a lot of shrines together to come in and to be able to unite a lot of shrines, whether it's the senior heads or the junior heads of the Ilis. Many came out. It was a great meeting. A lot of people trashed out. They started to say, I think the meeting, Shaka, you was there. Yeah, you was there as well too. So we had a meeting probably like for about 4 hours. We went on. It was good. The thing about it is, as His Eminence returned home and we requested to have meetings, how many people came out? And as you say, I don't want to wash your dirty linen in public, but we for us to really make this step forward to be able to break all the emotional, mental, spiritual curses, we really have to put aside whatever differences and understand that there's a bigger picture. We have to we have to, just as our ancestors paved the way for us to be here, we have to pave the way for our generations behind us as well. So we have to put aside whatever differences that there may be and really try to make a way forward. Because we can't overcome that so-called mental curse, spiritual curse. And we just have to unite. You know, I thought it would have been a really good time, and I think it's still a good time. Now we're having Zoom meetings and all of these things to be able to get everybody to come in together. Right? So we are really a force to reckon with, and I know we will be able to break those so-called curse.
Yeah, and Ziga Reid says Iya doesn't speak much. She should do it way more often.
Thank you.
People are actually opening up themselves to all kind of energy due to crave of knowledge and practicing mediumship, which is very harmful. If one don't prepare themselves on all levels. I want to go back to something that I saw here from Fiola Rudder. Judy Wilson says, the elders supposed to pass on the energy so it can continue to flow. Fiola Rudder says, elders are not just to pass on unless you are ready, because
we speak that all the time on this program.
It is not a piece of chicken. It is a serious discipline and commitment. Not pass the thing. Are we ready to take up the responsibility? Well said. You see this, Fiola Rudder? I know I'm going to see you when everything open back up. I'm going to meet you very constructive criticism.
A lot. You know, this is a conversation we have all the time.
Every day.
And I always say,
every Monday.
And we always say this. Elders will only pass on certain things when you pass certain criteria.
I go go to this. What's up energy that's flowing? I ain't work. You know why I work, Shaka? I ain't work last night. I talking to a young minister in the Baptist faith. We reasoning, we talking, and I talking on Ricky, and he talking Baptist thing, and we going. I say, boy, this good. We sharing energy, and we doing we thing, you know. And he said to me, he said, boy, Duke, you know, I just get launched out and started baptize people. I said, you been doing that a long time? He said, boy, my spiritual father, my leader, all these years. He says one day he going out and spiritual father stand up so and going and do a baptism and say, this is your time.
Yeah. Because
this
you
your
have to prove
time.
yourself and everything you do.
This is your time. So we need to know when is our time.
Yes.
And
you have to be humble too.
Ifa. What is Ifa? What is Ifa?
Ifa is maintaining that harmonious humility to communicate with Olodumare and receive
with
what
respect
information you have to get. It is not no Russian thing.
With respect, you must have that respect. You must.
As the elders used to say, there's an old saying. I don't know if everybody remember. I'm sure you'll probably remember. My mom have a great thing of saying, when the students are ready to learn, the teacher will come.
I want to also quote something that Baba Ogun Owale will always say, hurry bird do not build goodness.
Exactly.
Daniel John, the call of RH Araba Agbaye was a correct call, but the priest did not know they had to appoint a leader who is not a priest, because the priest have to guide the leader as to the duties needed to perform. This is Isheshe.
Sheo.
All flowers have their season to blossom.
It is the fact.
Those city next word that is saying bloom these days.
But Duke, in terms of this last comment, a few weeks ago, you read a Udu out of Erete Ogbe that speaks about order.
Yeah.
And without order, certain things cannot grow in the proper way. So I'm pushing back this question to you. Yeah. In terms of the order, are you seeing that, as they would say, taking shape in the right way for the thing to really form, to move forward? So our children who coming up, the ones who still in belly, will meet a proper order to carry this Isheshe forward, because it cannot go forward if we all over the place, you know. Honestly, you know, the load that should be carried by 10 cannot be carried by 2. So what do you think?
Honestly, as some of the Ilays that I have visited and I have a close connection with, I know there's order. Of course, Macheritas, some understand, remember her, sorry, by Oile, Brother Lumbe's group, and some of the other elders that I have visited. There is order, there's discipline, there's commitment, because if there was no discipline, if there was no commitment, if there was no order, they wouldn't be standing today. However, it is just that we need to, let me get the right thing to say. It's just that we need to be able to unite. That's the key thing.
On the outside.
Once we can unite on the outside, we would be able to really show how much order we have.
Benny.
Because I know Bamola have order. Mayele have order. Brother Lumbe and his association and his Ile has order. A few other Iles that I have visited and that I know my mother would have had close communication and a great relationship with have order. It is just a matter of us coming outside of that, uniting and really going forward. You know, a cocaine flex cannot sweep a floor. It's the entire cocaine broom that sweeps that floor.
I saw a small video from in Africa with our father saying, no, and telling the children to break the cocaine broom.
Yes.
And then he give them it separate. So, folks, we're going to take a break. We're going to touch some music. And we're going to come right back at you.
Benny.
Use this time to refresh yourself. Drink some water, cool water, and come back. It's Orisha with the way of life with Olumbe and Squad speaking here, and my co-host Shaka.
Peace and blessings.
Junior.
Ancestors, we call on you to fight the fight on our behalf. Ancestors, we call on you to walk on our enemies. Asheo. All the way from Africa land, they come in, they come in. All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them. All the way from Africa land, they come in, they come in. All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them. Walk on them, 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 walk on them. Yoruba ancestors, 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 walk on them, 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 walk on them. Ancestors, we call on you. Ancestors, we call on you. You came across the middle passage. Ancestors, we call on you. Some are shown up about some are show. Ancestors, we call on you. From this land of Trinidad, great warriors, we call on you. Walk on them, 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 walk on them. Yoruba ancestors, 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 walk on them. All the way from Africa land, they come in, they come in. All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them. All the way from Africa land, they come in, they come in. All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them. Great mother, we call on you. Iyanla, we call on you. Your children crying, creeping, moving. Great mother, we call on you. When we pour this libation, we do it for the nation. From the four corners of Trinidad, great mothers, we call on you. Walk on them, 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 walk on them. Yoruba ancestors, 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 walk on them. All the way from Africa land, they come in, they come in. All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them. All the way from Africa land, they come in, they come in. All the way from Africa land, they come in to walk on them.
Kuibona Bakere olówó ẹyọ èṣù ní kórè wá ẹlẹgbàrà ní kò bí lọ pẹlẹkẹ ní dára orò sáwò nílé èṣù máa ṣẹ mi ọmọ ẹlẹ omi ní òṣè èṣù máa ṣẹ wá.
Èṣù dé òde o, èṣù dé òde o,
pẹlẹkẹ
èṣù dé òde o, èṣù dé òde o, èṣù dé òde o.
Nobody can take my joy away. I am born to be happy. Every single wish I supply for me is enough to be jolly. Got no need to be worried, no. Cause life is a blessing, no. My life is a blessing, no.
Èṣù dé òde o, èṣù dé òde o, èṣù dé òde o.
Asana.
Èṣù dé òde o, èṣù dé òde o, èṣù dé òde o.
Every morning I awake, I give thanks to my glory. Èṣù lánàá who makes all doors open up for me. Bad energies, no room for you, oh no. All good things is I must get through. Ọmọ ẹ̀ ló ràn ní òṣè. Ọ̀la yìí, èṣù bá lè kọ̀ ọ̀wọ́ ìlú. Ọ̀la yìí, ọba ẹ̀ bọ̀rọ̀ nílé.
Yes, so we're back at it. We're back at it again.
Benny.
I listen music from Baba and the Land. Ishu Deo. I'd just like to pay respect to the sponsors of the program so far. As I was saying, we coming to that time of the month, we're asking for that sponsorship to keep this program on here. Let our voices be heard. We have a platform now to work on. Let's work it and make the best of it. Don't let it die. And I know it would not die. It would not die.
Benny.
Some of our sponsors, Kamara's Culture Shop, the number one important supplier of all genuine products from Africa, open from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Adams Bazaar, Main Road, Shoguanas, 2 buildings before the Shoguanas Market, 672-8438 or 320-8866. Nice Nuts, Quinlan Brands, bottle and distribute natural coconut water. Contact number 716-6396. And soon there'll be a quiz. And the prizes will be coconut water. So you folks got to listen and pay attention.
We can't forget also Omo Inu, all things woman. That is Omo Inu, all things woman, and the Lock Duck.
The Lock Duck. Also Gossip Gel Polish at number 382-7587. Petty by Risi 3984474. Temple Ojubu, Orisha Umrolu. Banjala Music Productions and Media, Nubian Express. Also, like Africa House.
Belmont.
Must, because I know if he said he try and help us what best he can, so I like it. Call out the address. You know the address of the store is in
it's Belmont Valley.
Belmont Valley. Everyone knows where Africa House is, where you can get everything that you need, everything African you can get it from them. So let us support our own. Let us get our culture out there. Let us be our brother's keeper.
Benny.
We are all one people. We belong to one community.
Let
our voices be heard. Right, so we're gonna jump right back at it. I'll be opening the phone lines now for you guys to question Ian Olumbe. Run at them hard, tell them, ask them, you know. So my numbers are 342-0081, 342-0081, 771-1791, where you can call us. Call us now. Next number is 466-5391, 466-5391, 342-0081, 342-0081, 771-1791. Those are the numbers to call. You can call as of now. Yes, so Shaka.
Babao. Ala to Miche.
But you have any small book for?
Well, hear this, sir.
On the side.
Well, listen, you know, we are in a time here where our children are at home and they are being homeschooled. You know, and this Isheshe, have you all taken to the social media platforms or whatever to get the information out so that our youths could be aware that, you know, we have a traditional culture that we have to know about in order to practice. Is the Ashe committee a foot off doing those things right now?
Currently, I'll answer and say no. But we have a plan. Every year, for example, the awardees. So, you know, for example, 1 year, not last year before, we would have done awardees to the Chantwells.
Yes.
And elder drummers, master drummers of the Ifa Orisha community. We had follow-up programs where, you know, we had to invite the awardees to do, for example, programs, seminars. Last year we did awardees for steel pan players within the Ifa Orisha community. You know, so we have programs planned out. We actually had a lot planned out for this year, but again, due to the COVID thing, you know, so we actually trying to devise our means where we could, still reach out to the community and, keep them involved. We actually even plan to do a review of the first 5 years of Isheshe.
That is awesome. That will be awesome.
We moving forward 2021. This year we had actually planned to, the plan for this year was to award sports personnel within the Ifa community, seeing that also Baba Ogunbowale got, I think was the first citizens
inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Inducted into the Hall of Fame. So, the plan for that was to do the award ceremony, award the sports men and women and young people, and this year would have been our sports day.
So the calls coming in, so they are coming in.
Nice.
Alafia to the panel. Alafia. Hello?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Alafia, yeah. I was one of our biggest fans on, listening. I just wanted to ask something. In terms of, modernizing, the original language, modernizing Yoruba language in terms of, getting across to the youth. Because, when mankind deteriorating, his morality and his understanding of spirituality and, everything crazy as it is right now. And, there's an effort to return man to his traditions and spirituality. Time would have passed and, as I just say, spirituality is not a boring thing. However, all the challenges, the traditions had in terms of keeping it in the forefront, which is what you're trying to do right now, to come out and bring it to the forefront. To challenge the excitement of what it have out there, the phones, the television, the the sensory kind of excitement that we pursue, and to reach out to the youth. Is there a way that they could modernize the language in terms of identify? Because if you look at it, as somebody mentioned, that the teacher will come when the guru is ready. When you reach up to that.
Yes, we lost that call. That's someone who calls very regular, but there are people like Baba Okan and these people who can educate and edify and bring you up to speed with the Yoruba language. He's one of the
there's also
there's also the University of the West Indies Center for Languages also teaching Yoruba. I mean, Iya somewhere in Baba and Iya somewhere. Through Ketus Ifa
Benny,
and also through the University of the West Indies Center for Languages. They have been doing a Yoruba program for quite some years now. Nice number of years, Baba Okan, as you mentioned. So in terms of saying we there's a need to modernize the language, I don't see there's a need to modernize the language. The language is there. Language has always been some form of a barrier, but there are systems in place where the general community, I mean, even in the individual shrines, they have some form of basic Yoruba languages being passed on from the others.
Yes, caller.
Again, I get back to you. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah, language is not the word I should have used as I started to explain. The communication. Because, we would have a challenge in terms of, getting across to youth how important it is to be spiritual. We have to remember the challenges in terms of keeping the God man away from his understanding of himself is the negatives leave no stone unturned in order to keep us in that zone of avoiding spirituality and spiritual understanding. So what I'm saying is that I feel all the vibes. But in terms of making it attractive to the youth, which is very important, how could you use a language or a method of communication in terms of to identify with, to ride in on their psyche then? If I don't know if you're following what I'm trying to say. The youth something will be on a certain frequency, so to speak. And, it's kind of like a request to kind of tune the language into the frequency of the youth, and so they will understand that spirituality is a powerful, important tool to have in these negative times. Now, if you understand, you will have some mature people and people who are interested in spirituality will be listening. But in terms of to get, the youth and them to understand that it is a way that we could conquer the negativity out here. I'm talking about the method of communication. If it is possible that you could literally use a method of communication where they could say, hey, all right, cool. Like how Cartel and them do it in terms of, we use a rhythm and they will use a language, and next thing you know, they have youth in a negative zone thinking about certain things. So what I'm saying is that, is there a way that you all also could actually tune the frequency of this spirituality and what you all be teaching and the aim that you all have to tune into the youth and how they just think now in order to reach them where they are? Listen off your thanks again, but it's time to ask the question.
Yes.
Communicate with all their brothers. I always enjoy the program. Thank you.
Yes, you go ahead.
Ore yo.
Ore Oshuno.
Ore yo.
Ore Oshuno.
Ore yo.
Omio. Otao.
Otao.
Edao. Erio. Agbao.
Agbao. Ore yo Osun. Aláàfin ya.
That's that Iya Motayo. Great lady. Right, so I'd just like to pass a message here from the Soul Factory, another member of the diaspora. Presents our Sip and Paint series. Come, let's go off the world around you and connect the world that's with you. Let your soul loose on the canvas. Each session is 2 hours at 300. These guided sessions come along with art supplies, a sip, wine for adults and juice for children, music, and a great time to secure your spot. Reservations must be made 48 hours in advance with a down payment of 50% of the cost price for the session. Failure to make reservations and the down payment will result in persons not being allowed entry. Sessions begin on the 3rd of October and will be run on Saturdays and Sundays. Available time slots are 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Only 4 persons at a time will be allowed on the compound. All COVID-19 protocols are observed. People from the community reaching out to us, they have their little business or whatever. We'll put you out there. We'll give you that push and that strength. Olubusola, Oluyezmi, Chong, the Soul Factory, dance, art, fashion. Yes, Fiola Rada says, I can suggest for the Ifa Orisha to move to unity, they must all look for and read every day the 16 Udus and get familiar with it. Right, so callers call. You can call 3420081, 3420081, 7711791, 466591. Orisha, the way of life. Right here on the Street 919 FM, streaming on Facebook. Marsha D. Clinton said, indeed, the elders who were present, I do believe, did that before agreeing to conduct the prayers. What was phenomenal for me was that the pundit endorsed the power, presence, significance of the Orisha and the fact that they presented themselves to him. It was an interesting experience. This is a reply to someone who said they saw a pundit got manifestation in a festival. Our Orisha festival. Right, so Shaka, small book.
Oh God. This one is for Olumbe. As a person who is also the head of Ifa Orisha performing group, what advice would you give to the youths, especially in this time in here, that we have a lot of negative music and negative activities that are shrewdly placed in the music and even media to distract our youths. As a man who I know have a group, what advice would you give to the youths in Trinidad and Tobago and even the wider region?
You know, similar to the comment I think is Fiola rather would have said. You know, we should understand the 16 Oduifa. You know, my message to the youth is to really get acquainted, get grounded.
Benny.
And where's the foundation? Isheshe. Get grounded within Ifa Orisha. You know, if we understand Ifa and its ethical principles, we would know how to behave. We would have respect. We would be able to give respect in order to be respected. You know, despite the community within which we live, there are things we can do within the Ifa Orisha community to, you know, guide our youth. You know, eat, sleep, and eat, drink, and sleep, and wake up. Ifa Orisha, Olodumare, learn about your ancestors. And you know, many of us, you know, who still, for example, as we would say, outside of the community, only until they start to research their ancestors, they would say, hey, but my great grandmother used to practice or this, you know. We had to understand that we have different methods to get to the youths as well.
I know cut here, maybe we have an next caller here.
We will stick up in there.
Nice.
Alafia.
Kaleo.
Caller, you could take down the medium you're using to listen, please. You can't listen to yourself at the same time.
Yeah, I try to do that.
All right.
I listen to the program and I listen to the Orisha. Well, I have to say custom and culture and whatever. And I just always show a serious interest when I hear anything about Orisha. For the fact that the parents, them now was Orisha from Africa, straight from Africa. They come down here with Orisha culture and thing now. So I know, like, from birth, I Orisha because, you know, that my father, them, when they come with Chango thing, but I really know that about it. So when I hear people talking about it, I just listen, I just try to understand. Because I know that was my mother, them. Well, culture from Africa, I told the answer, you know, right? But I know on the mother side, them is this. But one thing I want to ask you, I realize Hindu people just take up the same Orisha custom right now that is be using the square flag Orisha flag. Now I was talking to a Chango woman, our Orisha person, and they were showing me that it's almost the same thing, but this Hinduism is a lower energy that they use. Right, because the flag cut in half, but right now they're tapping into this higher energies. But though, when I study Orisha now and I'm studying what the Bible tells me about this Christ Messiah, I realize Orisha have two forms of sacrifice that is made. The Shango man say you could make a sacrifice with food. I don't know if so, yeah, nothing else. Like a veggie, like a ital sacrifice, and praise the ital praise, and then you could make a praise with blood offering. But you say the blood offering praise now does connect with the energies, like you know that the energies is the water, the wind, and the sun, and whatever, right? But as though as you know, when they make this blood offering sacrifice, they just get the result or connect with the spirit, so the spirit does manifest faster or something. But though, it is really so, it's like it's kind of compatible to the Bible, because before Jesus Christ come on earth, right, mankind was making a blood sacrifice as atonement unto God to connect with the energies. So I just figure out it's the same thing still, but that's in a modern day, because we're still using that ancient energies that it had before Jesus Christ came, because that is the way dealing with the sacrifice. But I believe it's the same people who is we. But what happens? We not using forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us as a I have to say modern day or a new covenant then, as what Jesus Christ was saying, right? We all in the world, everybody in the earth does find justice in the court of law. I find a tooth for tooth, I think we still unto. Because if you really study forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us, we could probably have a new prayer, like a new way to create the sacrifice. You know, instead of making a blood sacrifice, we could make this other sacrifice with the Shango man say that it has. But he said that it hardly make that fruit sacrifice because the spirit does take too long to manifest. But which I feel is because of the level of how people live. If you're living on righteous and you're not living on holy and to the full nature of the Spirit of God, I feel whatever they're doing, it will take longer to manifest. That is how she explained to me, right? And if you make a blood offering sacrifice, you will get your result faster, right? So what I think we should do in a time as now, remember the world making a transition from, I had to say I fight as a tooth for tooth to forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. It's only natural you could look at how the earth is, and we seeing that is what the world lacking of. And if the world lacking of that, to me, I seen that as a new government, a total new something that man never had. It's like going in a place where man had never been before this, technically. Because this is a life for the new world, and this Garden of Eden we're talking about, right? This Garden of Eden, I see that as a return upon the face of the earth. That is the only heaven I think that I live in for. The Garden of Eden right here on earth, and you have to learn to practice to live in the Garden of Eden right here from now, because that going I feel the earth going and transform into the government. I don't know how long I'm talking about the government about, right? But you know, as I hear all the Orisha people talking, I believe that is 100%. The knowledge that teach everybody everything on the earth, but it's just they're calling it Orisha because it is a modern day. We don't understand how. I feel it's the foundation of things. The same Orisha when I study it, but they changed everything into English, and we don't understand. So how we gonna fulfill the promise when we don't understand really what's going on, right? So I live in now to understand the fulfillment. No, I don't even say under. I try to say over, because everything. The system pollute everything now by the adversaries of Satan, because they have that too, right? I can't go into full details who they are and whatever. The churn of Hanuman, boy. The churn of Hanuman, when Cain killed Abel, he get a curse upon his seed, and that is the people who run in the face of the earth right now. They steal it from the original man, which is me and you, which we of the nature, the spirit, which is Orisha.
Thank you, caller. Thank you. I say thank you, caller. Thank you for your. At the end of the day, according to my teachings, I respect whatever a man practices. I do not condemn whatever you practice or whatever you believe in. I know what IFA stands for. I know what I stand for. Right? Have a next call here. Alafia caller.
Good night to my brothers.
Good night.
And the sister here. You see a brother who talking? see seeing things that is right. Now, in the past, our ancestors was building coming down. As we say about Jesus, Jesus came and finished, he was a finisher. But he said, who coming after will do better works. Now we, hello.
Yes, hello.
Their philosophy and their teachings. I mean, everything is one. All the religion, everything is one. And take it further. That is what Jesus did. He take everybody covenant and come and give you a different teaching, so people can understand and elevate. That is what he's talking about. Something new. And we're not doing that. We just going with one thing over and over and over and over, and we're not advancing. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
These are things, as the churches and them is blocking, them come like, they stand up by the gate, you understand, and they're blocking people from going because.
So we're gonna allow each caller 2 minutes, right? Because the calls are coming in rapid and
what I'm saying,
other people calling at the same time.
You see name, date, and events like all the teaching, but it's not going into the message so we can advance further as the youth channel coming up. This is the question I want to ask what it is we have to put forward to the youth channel to understand
the truth,
what is happening. You understand? And to take them further. We just going back at the past, the present, and the future is identical in God's eyesight. But we just keep going back and staying right there. We're not advancing from their teaching and their learning. We're not advancing. Understand? This is the question I want to ask. What all the spiritual leaders and them is doing to advance the word. My friend, have a good night.
Blessed night to you, caller. Blessed night. Blessed night.
A lot to me, Shay.
Yeah, I listen to you, brother.
Question, what can the spiritual leaders do, to get whatever is? But I just want to say, Orisha has doctrine. Orisha has doctrine. Orisha has documented historical evidence that support everything the Orisha person do. People want to speak about blood sacrifice and this and that. Everything the Orisha person does has a plausible reason.
Doesn't the Muslim people do blood sacrifice?
Everybody do a form of sacrifice.
Thank you very much.
Because, yes.
They feed their Ori the same way we feed our Ori.
And two, I'm sure we could unanimously say here that Ifa is truth. Because whatever Ifa Orisha people do, it is supported by doctrine, it is supported by factual evidence that is documented. Yeah. So I would like people to understand that for persons to understand what Orisha is, you have to read about the source of Ifa Orisha, which is in Odu Ifa. So people have phones at home, and I would hear this, Google Odu Ifa and read Agiogbe, Agiogbe, Agiogbe. Read. Put that word on your phone, drive engine, Google it.
My next call, yeah? Hello, fear. Hola.
But I just
call on again,
yeah,
Ubato.
Baba Melo here.
Hey, Baba.
Yes, Baba Melo. Yes, Baba Melo.
Baba Olombe.
Baba.
What you have there, that the future that is before you all there. They are future leaders. When they ask what the elders are doing, am I still on?
Yes, you're on, Baba.
Yeah. All right. The Baba Lombe, Lodi, Cyrus, they are our future. And as the brother asking what the elders have to do to bring about, we have to support them. And especially in terms of our economics, we lacking that. Education. We have to support the education. It is there already, you know. It's just we don't get support because most people think it's only initiated persons can teach. You have Sister Nzinga is trying with her school. She's trying to teach from the foundation. So this is what Isheshe. Isheshe is that you're supposed to show us the way. As I said last week, the young one know the running ahead of the truck, but the other know the way. So the other just supposed to guide us. So just say continue the good work. We're trying to get the message out. Things are happening. People didn't understand Isheshe. Isheshe is our whole life, our life. What we do, our culture, our tradition. What we pass on to the younger ones, we pass on Isheshe. But so if the children is going wrong, parents have to look at their Isheshe. What are you tradition giving a child? Are you giving a child a foundation to build them, or are you just giving them a survival foundation? So this is what you have to look in terms of the tradition. It's not disrespecting the elders, but there's always a season and a time. As the young palm shoots to the heaven, we have to take notice of the older palms that went before. But some of the things that they did before we could follow, and some of the things we say, no, I should not do that. See where Baba or where he end up. I will not take that way. So just to continue to support them and ask everybody, contribute to these programs, contribute to the events. If we don't invest financially to our culture, our tradition, we will always be struggling trying to reach where we want to reach. So continue good work. Baba, yeah. Continue struggling. I'm all. And I write a hand over the mantle and always the young one to take it from where I left off.
Thank you. Will do. Thank you.
I do pay you. We'll talk again. I share.
I'll have your caller.
Yes, good night, sir.
Good night.
So one practice a spiritual life outside the orbit of ethics, of social ethics. So one claim to be living a spiritual existence and ignoring social ethics. That's my question. I'm alluding to the first caller inquiry, which I don't think you have responded to completely.
The response to the first caller was that we don't condemn other people's religions and their beliefs
at all.
We give each and every one their respect. Whatever they decide to practice, whatever they decide to do, that is to them. We don't do that. You will not see us here condemning or talking against anyone's belief or anyone's practice. But we had to see also, as the year said, everyone does blood sacrifice. Right? So I have approximately 9 minutes. I have a call here. I have a caller.
Yes. Good night,
caller.
All right, caller. Baba Perez.
Hello?
Yeah? Hello?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
All right, okay. All right, the phone have a delay. That's what's happening.
Yes, sir.
All right, okay. I listen all day, and I always does. I even follow one program or two already. And it's a good thing. See, many people may come and they really don't understand. I mean, I'm not a racial, but I'm an African. And I doing little history and will go to see our real as African people. Not only that is name Orisha, but that Orisha is really Africa. And there's where we're missing out a lot as being the slaves that we are. The brainwash that we got. The life that we living now, that is not ours. Even in many cases, we would talk about the Jesus. But the Jesus said, it never, to me, never show itself as a Rhodesian man, a South African man, a Nigerian man. It never shows itself to me like that Ethiopian man, somewhere in the Congo, in the west of Africa. That device never showed me himself there. He showed me himself up in Europe. He showed me himself like some Abraham coming across the Middle East, across to Egypt and Canaan and Mesopotamia with the whole Jesus. You know, we lost out on truly the spiritualism we had in Egypt, the spiritualism we had in the Sudan, across even, Ghana, Ethiopia. We had a religion before the Coptic religion ever walked in on the northern coast of Africa. You see, people, I will tell you what you have to do. Or you have to bring this whole conversation on the minds of men, of African people, on the internet. I am not really a young brother to say, well, I run down internet, but I start to have to get in it now, especially with this virtual consciousness of life that we're going through today. That even the school children have to find themselves virtually doing education.
Caller, you have approximately 1 more minute.
Hear what happened? I have to pause now, time?
You have 1 more minute, caller.
Oh, hold it, 1 minute coming in, all right?
Yes.
All right, okay. Well, all right. The truth is, I just say something there. The internet circumstances will help.
Saloza one. Lafayette caller.
Yes, my brother.
Yes.
I wasn't disrespecting no spiritual leader. I'm just trying to open the eyes. Who will bring the message from the Almighty Father in these times? You understand? To be God has seen nobody. You understand? That he could stretch his hand to right now. You know, we have to start that generation. So that coming along, a pure one could be conceived. You understand? With the Holy Spirit from the Almighty Father to come to balance back the earth. This is what we missing. We missing that person, that pure person in the generation coming along from a womb. You understand? Let me say, you start to deal with a youth and all that, you grow. He get a wife. What is pure?
Yes, so we are thankful for all the comments, all the phone calls, all the contributions that everyone gave. You know, there's a saying that I do because David Mormon is here. Tell me what you think about Rabo Shishe. A little right upon Olokun. Who is Olokun? Olokun is revered as one of the most commanding Orishas in the Yoruba religion. She is an androgynous Orisha that can take on any form. The guardian of the deepest depths of the sea. Olokun is the owner of the oceans and all of the riches that they possess. The deep sea is her kingdom and she resides there happily. Olokun is deeply tied to the Orisha Yemaya and the two are often mixed up. Some people believe that the two are husband and wife, while others say that they are brother and sister. Yemaya looks after the shallower parts of the seas. She is the Orisha of motherhood, and the waves and tides fall under her realm. While the two share the same element of nature, the temperaments are extremely different. The name Olokun is derived from the word Olo, meaning owner, and Okun, meaning ocean. He or she possesses unmatchable wisdom, governs over dreams, wealth, prosperity, meditation, and healing. Olokun is respected as an authority over all other water deities. Olokun is an Orisha full of deep mysteries. She is often associated with dark or left-hand path magic. The reason for this is that no light ever hits the bottom of the ocean where Olokun lives. I will stop there for now. So I must say thank you to Olimbe. Yeah, thank you, Shaka.
Blessings,
thank
brother.
you. We are here at the end of the day. Anything in closing, quick?
I would first like to say thank you for having me. Thank you, Brother Lumbe, for reaching out. Thank you for this platform, and may this platform continue to grow in strength. May the blessings of Olodumare, all the positive ancestors, may all the rumors, and all the positive energies of the universe continue to bless this program, continue to bless 91.9 as well, and continue to guide and protect us. May the light of Olodumare continue to shine upon us. Ishasho our lapa.
Right. At the end of the day, we must fulfill
our traditional
rights. We must fulfill our traditional rights. Nothing may stop us
from fulfilling our traditional
rights. We must fulfill our traditional rights. Orisha, the way of life, has come to the end tonight. David Mom is here with the Black Agenda. We thank those of you streaming on Facebook, those of you listening in Radio Land, those of you wherever you are. We say thank you. Thank you. May Olodumare and the Orishas guide and protect you. Until we meet again next week, Monday, the Orisha way of life. Alatu Mishe Ifaba Mishe Aganki, better known as them Siduk, King Shaka, and my guests. We thank you all. May you have a blessed night, and may you continue to listen to the rest of the Street 919 FM with David Mohammed, the Black Agenda. Yeah. You say thank you.
Ashe.
Thank you.
Recognized by the black man. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he wanted me to speak for all black people. Think for the whole and speak for the whole. Here's the way I want you to think. If we have 30 million people